Hey gang, very excited. This is January 11th lesson. Again, we're doing our missions, BGMC, for the whole month. Very, very good month, very exciting month. Last week we talked about Paul and his call. This week our big idea is God gives us friends, and the friend that God gave Saul, this time his name is Saul still, and all through the very, very end of this chapter, it finally changes from Saul to Paul in Acts 13. But we're going to talk about two aspects of what happened to Saul. When he first got saved and he went back to Jerusalem, people still didn't trust him. Peter didn't trust him. Other people didn't trust him. But God brought along someone who did trust him and was able to mentor him. And that is the man Barnabas. So we're going to mainly, it's all about, and when you read even Acts 13, it talks about Barnabas and Saul, Barnabas and Saul, Barnabas and Saul. And all of a sudden at the end of Acts 13, it changes and says Paul and the others. Paul, and you're like, whoa, hold on, what happened to Barnabas? Well, Barnabas was still there, but there is this transition that finally happens where everything was focused first on Barnabas, and then it transitions over to Saul. So it's a pretty cool story. I encourage you to read through that. Our game time, what we're going to do on our game is divide the kids in two teams, and they're going to have an A and B partner. The A partner is going to kick the ball all the way across and try to get it in like what you would call a penalty kick. They're just going to be by themselves trying to kick it in, and it's going to be more difficult for them to get the ball in. Now, we're not going to have somebody guarding the goal trying to not get it in, because the goal's already a smaller goal. But then we're going to have the B partner that's going to stand, and they're going to kick the ball again, and the B partner gets to be close to the goal, and they get to assist the ball to make sure it gets in the goal the second time. So the idea will be is that when you had a partner, you pretty much got the goal in. Hopefully 100% of the time you get a goal in when you got the partner, because they're up close to the front. So that's the idea, is just to show them the difference. Hey, life works better when you're at the team. Life works better when you're working with somebody. And that's how God does. God teams us up even to preach the gospel. He preached these people up. All right, so our worship, every move I make, and my lighthouse this week, we actually do have it in English and Spanish. So we will do those two songs. Bathroom break, we'll have a break, and then matter of fact, I've got during our brain break, I've got a BGMC song that's going to be sort of funny. It's a BGMC song. Our BGMC is the missions for the Assemblies of God for children. It's called Boys and Girls Missionary Challenge. And our challenge this year that we will give kids on the last Sunday of the month on January 25th for the whole year is we want to raise $1,500. Last year we raised $750. This year we want to do double that. All right, then our missionary that's going to be speaking, it's actually not a missionary, but Debbie Rowe is going to be speaking about her missions trip to Moldova. So that's another way we can go and help be a part of missions, is we can go as a missionary. And so that's one thing. And then our Taste of Missions is going to be John and Becky Vicknar. They have gone to Crete this last year, and they're going to be doing some more Mediterranean kind of food for the kids in the kitchen. So you're going to rotate from the kitchen. And then the Bible story will be right here, on the platform, on the main platform in the main room. And so just if you read through Acts, I encourage you to read through the end of Acts 9 and then skip over to Acts 13 and realize, hey, this is pretty cool. I wrote a pretty good script here for you. I really, I want you to use your Bible, open up your Bible, read from the Bible. That's the encouragement for those who are doing the Bible story. The memory verse, same memory verse, go into all the world and preach the good news to everyone. Mark 16:15. So, and Jesus said to them. So what we have on that is, last week we did the video. This week we've got cards for the groups. And my goal is stay with your team. So if you're with a team of if you're with the kindergarten first graders, stay with that team, and you will get a set of cards, and you will get to put these together and see how, hey, you two put it together, or then now you two put it together, and let's see how fast you do it. Then have the second and third graders put it together and have the fourth, fifth, sixth graders put it together. I've got 3 sets of cards for y'all to be able to do your own individual game within your group to see how well they do it. Maybe even take out some cards, hey, line them up, have them lined up and take 3 cards out, make sure they can say it. Take about 2 minutes to do the game time on that and a review. Our last thing we're going to be doing this week is we are going to be doing some sand art. We have a lot of sand left over VBS, wondering how I was ever going to use it again, but we've got our memory verse on some sand footprints, and this is the preschooler doing the same thing. But what we found out, this is with glue, so you can definitely get a lot more, but the problem is this doesn't dry. It takes forever to dry. This one is with a glue stick, and so I got the glue stick on there and then was able to get the sand on there. So you do have to put a lot of glue, the purple glue, but we've got a lot of glue sticks these are brand new glue sticks, so it should be easy. We'll have the little bottles of sand and all that. All right, so that's this week. And so I just encourage you, this is gonna be a very, very exciting Sunday. It'll be our second Sunday of BGMC. Anything that you know and can bring to the table with them to talk about being a part. There's really two main things that a child can do that we will be discussing the last week. And that is a child can pray for missionaries. And we've got a powerful story the last week about that, where a child was really, really burdened and they prayed for this missionary, and come to find out there was things going on in this other country at the exact same time that this child got his parents to get with him and pray. And normally every night they prayed, but this time it's like this kid said, no, we gotta pray now. And they started praying, and sure enough, there was something going on in the country. So we're gonna share that story with them. The other part is we can, the kids can give. Now, our giving pretty much, it's gotta be through the parents. So it's something that we have to also communicate to the parents about us giving and show them, hey, this is our goal, this is what we're doing, and really show that and put that in front of the parents. So there you go. Encourage you, if you have not signed up, a lot of you have already signed up for being a part of our celebration on Sunday evening, and this is to go over last year and just celebrate all the wins and a lot of the huge things. That's not even all the wins, but just a short segment of some of the wins that God did. But then it's also to show you and tell you some things that we feel that God has planned for this year and what is ahead. Very, very shortly, there's going to be some stuff going on with the grounds, the whole building thing, and so there's going to be major or crazy changes that will happen, and they will happen almost weekly for a while for us to sort through and get through and do and all that. So the building project that we've been paying and putting money on Bridge the Gap is finally starting. So excited to be able to talk to those guys and know that within, by the time you get into February, we're going to be in the middle of messing with stuff. And the kids building, there will be adjustments and changes and shifts that have to make. The adjustments won't so much happen within the individual rooms, except the big room. So the big main kids room, there will be some changes here that will have to change and adjust. But it's more the hallways, is dealing with the hallways, check-in area. Check-in area is going to change drastically. So I love you guys. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Sunday.